So this is video 1 of my research project. My name is Benjamin L. Morrison, and originally I was to write a paper for my creative writing class on a sci-fi subject. But as I got more into it, I became fascinated. I had this game I used to like to play called Zombie Wars, and it had Nephilim in it. And since I didn't really know what Nephilim was, I looked more into it. But now that I have, I believe the Nephilim are already here, and I believe they're rising and preparing for war. I know that sounds crazy, but the more I've researched them, the more I've realized that I've seen people and possibly even known some people who I swear act just like modern day Nephilim. When you think about it, it's kind of freaky. And I had always thought that Nephilim were fallen angels because that's what you hear, right? Turns out that's not actually true. The fallen angels themselves are like the leaders, and the Nephilim are descendants in the lines and families of those fallen angels. But there's this theory, or at least one theory, that according to Genesis chapter 6, the sons of God, which many say were fallen angels, mated with the daughters of men, earthly women, who produced this super race. So that means those angels could have produced millions and billions of Nephilim babies. I don't really think that's right, though, because if those evil devils could make their own babies, and if one of those descendants was on Noah's Ark, they would have probably taken over the world by now. I mean, evil superhumans would definitely beat out normal humans, right? But anyway, in my research, I came across this cool guy named Dr. Floyd Nolan Jones, who is like this professor and writer on all kinds of stuff that I don't really fully understand. But he has this video in teaching on YouTube called The Mark of Cain. And he claims with scientific data that the mark God gave Cain as a punishment and as a kind of protection was to become a giant and have a giant gene. I mean, if he's 12 feet tall and everyone around him is like 6 feet tall, that's definitely a punishment and a protection, because who's gonna try and beat up a giant? But I don't really know if I believe in all that stuff that Dr. Jones talks about, or like all that God stuff. I mean, he's acting like the Bible is real and all. He even stated that the scholars couldn't translate the Bible into English very well because the original Hebrew was like such a higher language. Or maybe he didn't say it like that like the English language is dumb. But I can certainly believe that to be the truth. But I might have to look more into the Hebrew language and the Book of Enoch, which the Legend of Nephilim is supposedly based on. And maybe even learn a little more at least, because I'm definitely fascinated and I want to know more. Especially like since right now there are these battles breaking out all across the United States and all over the world, and some of them are just like batshit crazy the way that they're done. And I mean, it kind of makes sense that the Nephilim, or at least their descendants, are already here and taking over. I mean, maybe that's why somebody like me should study it and take it serious, because the battles are getting worse and they're only going to get worse. And who knows, maybe the Battle of Nephilim's already started. And maybe, just maybe, we're in stage 1.